Hello, it's Z100 New York's number one hit music station inside of our interview lounge, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks. I'm Crystal Rosas. Today, she rose to fame at 17 on MTV's 16 and Pregnant, became a breakout star of Teen Mom, sparking national conversation about teen motherhood. She's a New York Times bestseller. She's a recording artist, a bold entrepreneur with ventures spanning pasta sauces, beauty, comedy. Despite controversy, she has built an empire. She's made her mark on reality TV, and she just debuted her stand-up show here in New York City. She continues to advocate for mental health, parenting, women's empowerment, all while proudly raising her beautiful daughter, Sophia. Today, we are joined by Farrah Abraham.
Thank you for having me. What's up? I love it here, especially Celsius. I mean, shout out to your sponsor.
Right? But no, I'm so happy that you're here. I've been wanting to talk to you for so long. I was a fan.
Let's talk. This is your time.
I know. I mean, we're just. I'm ready. So we're here.
I appreciate you.
Thank
you for your support over the years, by the way.
Of course.
Because we don't get those episodes too much anymore.
It's all good though, but the good news is that you're in a great place.
Yes.
You are living your best life. I feel like you're someone that people look at, and no matter their opinions, everybody knows that from where you were and to where you are now, you have grown and changed so much.
Yes.
So how does that feel being?
Yeah. I would say I had, I was telling you, like, I just got back from a cruise with my daughter, and there's something weird happened. And I don't know if your lives have been nostalgic. I'm going to use the word nostalgic. So the woman who today, grown woman, the girl who went with me in my book that I wrote, My Teenage Dream Ended, who went to Planned Parenthood. Yeah, it's called Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood? Is that it?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I don't even go, so I don't know.
It's okay.
She went with me there to get my pregnancy test. I ran into her, now is it 17 years later, at baggage claim or something because they lost her
friend. Wait, who was this?
So this was the same girl at school who I was friends with in high school. And I don't talk to anyone from high school or anything. Like, my life, and it's not a bad thing. I feel like a lot of people are like, do you talk to the teen moms? Do you talk to this? And there's always some negativity. But like, my life truly shifts, and I won't talk to certain people for a while. But anyways, so I ended up running into the girl who went to Planned Parenthood with me at 16 when I was like, am I pregnant? I found out that I was pregnant, got the pregnancy test. She came home with me because I was so nervous to tell my mom and my dad, is what the book shows and shares about. And if I didn't have her there, I don't know if I had the courage. Like, Sophia's dad wasn't picking up my phone. He was initially supposed to take me. And like, all this transpired. So I just feel like I have a very big kindredship with this person, even though we live and have lived for 16 years, not seeing each other. And so she saw me. She came right up to me at the airport at this weird baggage claim thing. We were supposed to be gone already. They lost the luggage. But she comes up. She just hugs me like we've never been apart. And I knew her like that too. And it just was like nostalgic. And like, you are back at 16, even though I'm 34 today. It just sat me in my mom's office telling her about the pregnancy. And the crazier thing is, even though me and her were like, oh, we're like right back where we were. But then I said, yeah, but my daughter is 16. This is Sophia. This is her. Because they never knew of each other, right? Different times of Farrah's life. And so she started talking to my daughter about me. And I think that's what's so nostalgic is I love the 16-year-old Farrah. I feel like so many people were judging. I guess they judge and hate on teens and all this stuff. And I love the teen Farrah. Like, she was talking about, your mom was fierce. Like, she was running. She took over soccer. She won awards. Like, she took over high schools. Like, your mom is fire. Like, and that's what the impression of that teen Farrah left on someone who I have not even seen. But her raving to my daughter about me, I needed it. I love it. And I am so appreciative that I had that nostalgic moment randomly 17 years later. So yeah, there's just been a lot of goodness going on lately.
What did Sophia say? Did she ask you to follow up?
Sophia was, yeah. Sophia's like, Mom, send me the picture of her. Mom, show me her Instagram. Like, she just wanted to know everything about us. And yeah, we opened up a can of worms that we haven't opened up in a while. And it was like, I saw my friend's life for 17 years. Yeah. She saw my life for 17 years on Instagrams, on our LinkedIns. Like, we were just checking in because we just don't do it, right? And it was like everything. I'm not even kidding you guys. This is crazy. When you compared, and she never had kids. She was still with her high school sweetheart. They got married. And it's basically like what my life would have been if I had Sophia's dad, Derek, still alive. She was living that life that I would have had. And I was living this life with my child. And the weirder thing is, we both went to same traveling places. She had like Greece. She had Venice, Italy. She had all of these same pictures, bucket list item pictures and travels with her husband. But I had it with Sophia. And I was just like, I love this for her. First of all, my high school friend, I am so happy for her. She's doing amazing. But I'm also like, it really didn't matter who was with me because I still got these amazing memories. I still had the person who I love with me. Like, she had someone, who she loved. It just like makes me tearful. But it's really cool. Super nostalgic.
That's so crazy and weird, all those parallels.
Yeah.
And the timing of it.
Super crazy.
And like you said, she has the person that she loves, but you also are able to still do those things when a lot of people, when you were going through your teen pregnancy, were trying to fear you away from that.
Yes.
Saying that your life was going to be awful and like.
Yeah. And that's what I've also realized by having the luxury of my daughter turning 16 and having her in my life. I truthfully know that everyone was wrong. My parents were wrong. Older generations were wrong. TV hosts were on. It's like, oh, but you got your timing wrong and think I can't do comedy. But I got my timing right. And I feel like what we society systemically have wrong, and I do post about it. I'm not trying to like impression anyone, but we have vulnerable age groups who are left out of contraception prevention. When you're procreating, it's an act of God. It's not like an age and a law. I just want people to understand that. And when you don't have prevention, which we haven't, and inclusion and equity in that for teenagers, 10-year-olds are getting pregnant. I'm just saying it doesn't matter if you're a teen or middle schoolers. There needs to be inclusion and equity there for women and men. They can get vasectomies or they can have their tubes tied and they can have fertility options. And I think that's another component of why medical and fertility and government is blocking this inclusion and equity for teens or people who can just procreate at any age, because they don't want to give the necessary prevention for a brighter future and a brighter life. So you can't have your eggs saved. You can't get your vasectomies or whatever you need. And you have 16-year-old men on the internet asking and trying to find this stuff because they are taking equal accountability as women now. And I'm so proud of these younger generations. And the inner teenager, like the Farrahs 16 and pregnant, is always going to be fighting for teens or middle schoolers or anyone who can procreate. So yeah, you know what? I'm going to just make a little raw statement here, but I guess more the merrier of people who are procreating because that's normal for you and like no one needs to judge you, and good for you if there's more teens pregnant, if there's more middle schoolers pregnant, because no one can judge you because you purposely have not been included or equal to the table. And therefore your parents, anyone cannot hate on you and they should actually support you. And what I love about my church, I was like, whoa, there are more early pregnancy centers and pregnancy help centers to women. And the church keeps expanding this. And I was like, why don't I invest in an early pregnancy center for moms? Because like I just love doing like nonprofit stuff now. And that is something I'm actually more passionate about, is support, is helping, preventing hardship for moms, because it's inevitable, right? If you don't have something for preventative, it's inevitable that it's going to happen anyways. So it's either like we need to step up, like government wise, new act, Or it's like, hey, you need to have more support and help because it's inevitable. Rather than I raised you and I told you the shame, blame, reject, the negative stimulus. Whoa, that was so toxic. And I've had to do therapy for that my entire life, just so everybody knows. So I empathize with men and women who are young, from 10 years old, who you see getting pregnant on the news. I severely empathize with that. And I don't think it's right that our communities, our systemic government has allowed this. But yeah, older women continually judge me.
It's so interesting that you've brought that all up, because it is true. It's like the teens aren't getting help, but then when we're older and have prevented it, we're also not women.
They don't choose help though, even though they're included.
Yeah, we're not getting help like for the fertility help on that end.
Oh, the fertility,
right? So it's like either end. Like
say it out loud. There's a problem. I've reached out to a lot of OBGYNs and I've voiced this. I have like the guy who gave birth to my daughter. He is like on the board over like our nation's fertility and inclusion and all this stuff for that. Like, again, gave birth to my daughter. And I understand he has got like 11 daughters, and like a whole practice. But he is refusing to talk about the subject with me. There is a reason why doctors don't want to talk about the subject with me. So I feel like I'm just going to have to go around it, backdoor it, if you will, just so I can make progress. And that's why I did the change.org. That's why I have it living somewhere, because it's not only me. There are women showing up to like protest or whatever, just to like say like, why aren't men equally accountable? Why can't they have this at a younger age? And I think it's going to take more women. It's going to take teens getting radical. And if that means, pregnancy all over the place, but if it needs to be in everyone's face so loud rather than hidden, aborted, give it to adoption. And I want to just say this, Caitlyn and Tyler from Teen Mom, they gave away their child thinking, oh, it's going to be a brighter future, and all the brainwashing. They are not doing well by any means. There is no brighter future there. So stop taking these other, I guess it's like peer pressures, manufactured emotions, manipulation. Stop living in somebody else's alignment and live in yours. And look, I sit in anxiety. I sit in depression. I've sat through every hard thing on my own. My parents do not help me. I help them. And I think like we really just need to like see the examples. 16 and pregnant, 2 right now. My brand still outshines the Teen Mom brand. Like that happened because someone stood still in herself and didn't listen to, oh, we're a Teen Mom family. And then like get underpaid and like disvalue myself, disvalue my child. And so, yeah, I hope that, sticks with someone. But I love seeing the feedback from everyone who's watched Teen Mom, 16 and Pregnant, Day 1, A1. And sadly, one of the other Teen Mom, one of the 16 and Pregnant cast members lost her 16-year-old son recently. And it's just like, wow, guys, check out what you can really see full circle looking back at 16 and pregnant till today. What's not changed? What is going on? Health matters. There's so much that is like educational, impressionable, and leading to a better life if you look at it.
Yeah, I really do have empathy for Tyler and Caitlyn, because you're so right. Like
it's hard to live with that.
To other people,
and now look, and they are.
It's such a sorrow. It's such a undescribable sorrow that they have been going through. And even though you took, the hard route as well, but like you have your kid.
Yeah. So to live with someone else making choices for you, everyone might have this at some degree. I do not. I just say like, I know how bad that feels, and I know why they're acting out, and I know their behavior, and some of it is unexcusable. Some of it is like illegal. And I just know that someone else should be paying for that. And that is the production. And, poor Amber. Let's distract her. Let's let everybody else get in the way of this relationship of her and her daughter. Let's have like these other distractions of dating. And when somebody has so many ADA compliant disorders that you really need to take seriously, which by the way, the production company that we worked around since 16 to now, they never really cared about ADA compliance. Like, I found out at 27 after I got wrongfully fired, got my own therapist and psychiatrist who then diagnosed me for what I have. And the weirder thing was when I got diagnosed for ADHD and inattentive disorder, my doctor was like, Farrah, you've gone your whole life and no one said this to you and helped you? And I go, no. And I'm having like severe trauma because like when I got fired, it was like on TV and he said like, I'm the most difficult woman out of like all these other women. And I'm like, I'm the hardest worker. I show up. I got fired when I wasn't even supposed to be working. It was my day off. And she goes, I want you to read this book. And it was a book all about women and all the things that they heard were wrong with them because of ADHD. And most of them did get fired. And people said that they were the most difficult. So I don't know. I really found education to be life-changing for me.
Do you feel like that's because at that time, the conversations of anxiety and ADHD and depression, they just weren't as popular as they are now? Because I know even when I was going through a lot of that stuff, I didn't even know the terms that I was internally dealing with.
Yeah. I mean, like, we're not going to know it because the people around us don't want to have mental health and well-being. Mm-hmm. That's the first problem. Like, people even today. And I just want to say, like, nothing has to be popular to go do the right thing. Right?
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, it just wasn't heard about. I could hear every excuse from older generations. But like, I don't tolerate that because I literally took my daughter with me as I was learning all this stuff. I got her brain scanned so she knows who she is. So she knows how she reacts to things, the diet that's best for her, any of that stuff, because that's a superpower. Like, I used to have people just, again, mistreat me. I didn't know who I was, so I didn't know why I was reacting. People were just, like, diagnosing me with anxiety and depression disorders. It makes me almost sad, though, to see sometimes, again, some of the teen moms with their kids just saying, oh, they got a defiant disorder. I'm like, no, they have a depressive response because they have ADHD, which is much different. And like, it almost makes me sick because I suffered so much. And it's sad. Like, you don't want your kid to see you struggling with all these things. But it's because I was uneducated and everyone around me loved me being sick. That is the truth.
For ratings, for the views, to poke the bear,
but like,
for all the
parents
things.
With your kids. Like, you want your children to be better than you. I hope my daughter runs circles around my success, okay? I just can't see and keep my daughter ever sick where she's at. Like, when she was having anxiety and panic attacks out in public, I took that like serious dead on. And that's when I like, again, had her brain scan. Amon's Clinic, shout out to them, changing the lives of everybody and children. And I love that. But yeah, I take it really serious.
I want to talk about your journey on writing your book and how you were shopping it around to publishers. I think you said you came here to New York City and was like,
I never shopped it.
Yeah, you went to one publisher. You're like, you guys need to pick this up because if
that's it. Yeah, and it was MTV Publishing. And I was in like some real bereavement, depressive like cycle. Like, again, if I didn't have that book, I'm just going to say it. If I did not have that book when I have severe hard times, I feel like I would lose a friend. My teenage dream ended to me is like a best friend. Still to this day, I'm like, I need it. Like when I like after the trauma center, I was still struggling with like getting back to work because they ask you to kind of take 2 years off because you're still not like programmed back into the world. And I literally was reading my book and I was talking to my coach on the phone for ADHD coaching so I could get back to work. I was like, it is almost depressing to me to read about this girl who I was so courageous and I went through all this and I used to just say the truth and not care about anyone. And I'm like, I see all these like awards, certifications, diplomas on my wall. And I'm like, I used to like have 3 stores at one time, doing 3 shows at one time. And I'm like, that I need my superpower back. And I was just so depleted from all of the like legal attacks, the personal attacks.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that book, My Teenage Dream Ended, like, I'm happy I went into MTV Publishing and I said what I needed to say. And I wasn't taking a no. So it was create a deal. But today, I will say this, I'm much smarter about book deals. I am getting into a new one now. Again, 16 years later from 16 and pregnant. the publishers want to hear my take on parenthood as like a single parent. A lot of widowers out there. I feel like there's not enough voices in showing that. And now we're like seeing that in all these films. So I'm excited to do that next book, but I'm not going to let you know what it is yet. And shout out to my daughter because she's getting that opportunity as well. And I'm just along the ride. I love my daughter.
I know everything that you do, you include her and you want to put her on. And I feel like growing up, the love that you felt like you didn't give from anywhere, you pushed to her, and she gives that back to you too.
Yes, she does. Like, yeah.
I know. How does that feel?
Yeah. Again, it's a luxury to have my daughter.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Can't say enough. I don't want to cry.
No, it's okay, but she's like she's your mirror. She's like everything that you wanted and want to be, and she has her own style. And
thank God, you know. Yeah, I did not have the support. I continue to not have that support with my parents, which everybody kind of watched that, and their divorce, and Stefan, 16 pregnant teen mom. So I believe instead of giving your children crumbs, to give your child the whole dinner plate. Because I know how it feels to just get crumbs of love, crumbs of everything. Man. You know, that's the truth. But that's the truth for like a lot of public school children. That's why I don't put my daughter in a public school atmosphere. She does homeschooling. She gets to go choose. Like, she wants to be a part of a rock band. She does it. She wants to go do theater. She does it. She knows exactly what she wants to be and do and be around. I don't force her to be around people who will talk about gossip, ruining relationships. Those are all distractions that are getting her off her peace and her path. So yeah, I used to be blamed all the time. You're late for school. You're not where you are when I come to pick you up. Blaming me for getting pregnant. But here's the thing. How can you ever blame me when you had me live in it? That's my environment. And a lot of people, in order to like get out of those environments, you have to about face everything that you've ever known while your family's like attacking you for trying to get better, and they're blaming you. And that's what I lived in, and that's what it was. And it's horrible, and a lot of people live in that. So if I can do it, you all can do it.
Yeah. And we see it. We see with all the fun things that you have been doing. I just saw you this morning on Caitlyn's podcast.
Say what's up.
Yes, say what's up.
What did you think?
I liked your guys' conversation. I love how Sophia is so supportive of you. Mm-hmm. I love how you're standing up for yourself and your pay. You were talking about how you paved the way for the Teen Mom franchisers to be able to get those book deals.
Yeah.
And other things, and how you were a face to tell those girls, hey, listen, if they're not treating you right, go do your own thing.
Yeah, it's possible. Mm-hmm. Someone has to show like it is possible so someone else can go do better. Like do more podcasts, do more books, like whatever you want to do more of it so other people can see it's possible. Same way with comedy. I'm just letting you know. When I did the comedy debut, like Angelina from Jersey Shore and all these other amazing celebrity women were like, watching you do that made me feel like I can do this. Like I can use my voice more. And that was like, oh, I didn't think about that when I was going to go laugh at all my trauma. But I'm happy whatever healing that happens in comedy and other women. There should be like a lot of people talking about their stories in a comedy like environment. It's good for people.
What was the writing process for writing your comedy show like?
Okay, well, I think I took it too serious for one, because you got to read the room. I'm just going to say it. If you are a emotionally intelligent comedian who has worked through all your stuff, it's all about reading the room, and that's what I had to do. So anything that I wrote, other people who showed up, and the intimacy of it all, I really had to pivot and change. So you may write an hour-long whole thing of comedy, and then you show up, and it's not going to fit the audience. So I'm also just very good at just improv. Uh-huh. So I just went with it, and honestly, it was great. They wanted more of it. I can't help that, like, you know, there were some glitches. You couldn't hear a lot. That was, you know, but I think like that's the first, how you get all of everything started. It's like, let me figure this out. Let me see where venues it works out, where venues it's not going to work at. And yeah, I was grateful again that the Teen Mom producers, extended producers, Dr. Drew and his family stopped in. because I didn't ask for it, you know? I don't ever text. I don't ever reach out. And again, trauma bonds. Like I went through super traumatic stuff with them. Codependency. I don't want codependency with them. I don't want trauma bonds. For me, separating that in my family, everyone's doing amazing. And I really want to see all of my peers on the back end in production to the, in front of the camera. I want them to stop codependency and trauma bonds from the show, because if it's over and we're moving on, like it's time to flourish. It is time to flourish. And a lot of them are struggling.
That's true.
When you're in Teen Mom, when you're in a bubble of a show, I just want everyone to hear this. You are not taught life skills. You are only taught to stay in like trauma drama. And that doesn't really pay your bills in real life. I'm just going to say it. And you have to really like care about the community when you're in real life. It's not all about you like on a protected show and a set. So yeah, getting into the real world of life outside of television probably hits some people really hard right now.
That's true. And back to the comedy show, did you feel so much love when you were supported by so many people that day?
I felt so much love, even like the press lead up, because they were making me go on press tour after press. It was like, I am so tired. Like, it's tiring is promoting this comedy show. Yeah, it was just party after party. It was mingling. And again, though, I really appreciate all the influencers, all the celebrities, all the love from press outlets. It was mad love. And I was like, I think I should have just done this sooner. And I think that's why people showed up from work. They probably knew I needed to go do comedy sooner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What did Sophia think?
Sophia's like, it's time. But she also thinks it's time for me to like do like a real network stand-up comedy thing that's like streaming like on Netflix or something. But I'm really trying to get through some things right now before I do that.
Okay. Yeah, you have a list. And you keep
Girl,
going and going.
I have like AI taking over right now, like my Joy AI, and then I have like this life coach, like Farrah life coach AI that's like dropping next week. And I'm like,
what is that about?
I'm training it right now. So here's the vibe. Everyone asks me for advice in different things, right? Like, can you be my mom? So it's like, I can be your mom. You talk to Farrah, life coach. You can call me your mom in there. If you need dating advice, if you want to act like you're dating me, if like your girlfriend.
Wait, so where is this?
So it's going to just be like on my website links on Instagram or all the platforms. But literally you just go to the website and you can message it all day. I've actually been doing it. So it is like a best friend. I do love myself as a best friend. Clearly you can tell. I love myself as a best friend and I love my life journey, but I needed to bring that to more people. For instance, there's a lot of new platforms that are coming on and they are paying me to, be available for other people so I can be like, I don't know, a guide, a coach for dating or not, and some other things. And I'm just like, I just feel like this is so out of date, to be honest with you. Like if they miss the meeting, if I'm a little late. And do you know what I love about the Farrah like AI bot thing is you're never late. You never have to stress. If something's going bad, like I'm there to pump you up, help you out. And like, it's amazing. So yeah, like if you need a sponsor for recovery, Farrah is right here to be a sponsor for you. I can be everything to you.
So then are you, to prep for this and to push that out, are you answering a whole bunch of questions? Like, how does that work? No, like on your own. Like, how are you training the AI?
Okay. So how I do it is there is actually a platform and I'm not endorsed by them, so I'm not going to shout out the platform. But anyways, there is an amazing platform. It is the best. I'm also in my master's for digital marketing. I am looking at technology nonstop right now. If no one knows, it's all about technology. I did not know that when I got into the program. Yeah, I'm like silly. I'm like, do I just make like online posts? But anyways, it's not that. And I'm grateful like AI is popping right now. So I found the best platform. On the back end, it is all set up. It's like, it's already set up. So they have like their own descriptors. They know what a coach is supposed to be like or a mentor.
Yes.
And I think that is the most important. So you're not at ground zero. I've had so many people.
But then how does it personalize to you?
So you are saying like, you meet me. Hi, Farrah. and I want to do this with you. And like if you, and she'll ask you, oh, do you have like 3 goals? Or like she will meet you where you are at.
So this program that you did set it up for that? Like you were doing
yes,
this
so it's already a
technology
template.
program. Oh, okay.
A lot of my boss friends who own businesses are doing this again. It's better than a lead AI bot. This is personable. This is real. This is great for your life. So yeah, I do have some other friends who are using a chat bot, but it's only specific to lead generation. So like to go to a recovery center, like it's only free because they're channeling you. It's a pipeline to something else that you're spending money on. My Farrah like life coach doesn't have that pipeline. So like it is like it's a utility that you can use. And like, yeah, there's a little payment for it. But again, it's like it's priceless because my real time is worth so much more. So yeah, I just want to, I guess, commoditize Farrah time. And this is an amazing tool that anyone can use. Teens, if you need guidance, if you need a best friend, if you need a wing woman, like
Whoa,
it's everything. It is
that's
everything.
cool.
Yeah. So I hope everyone gets to that level because I do think, you know, you can be more to everybody.
Yes. We're going to be on the lookout for that. I also want to ask about your journey right now with relationship coaching. I think you're in how has that been going?
So I graduated from that like 2 years ago.
Okay.
It was called like Guardian of Your Soul, Finding the Guardian of Your Soul, Dating Naked. And I needed it. Again, I started 12-stepping every area of my life.
Wow.
12-step finances, like 12 steps in parenting, 12 steps in dating. And so I'm just to the point, like they talk about practice dating. And, you know, practice dating for someone who's well known is kind of hard because if I'm just using a regular app, I'm getting flagged all the time. I'm talking to customer support on the back end being like, someone reported my page again. And it just kind of just got more like distracting because I'm so busy. And then like if I did choose to go on dates and practice what I know, because there's nothing wrong with that. Practice your feminine, practice like love and connection, even if you're not into them. And so like men just started thinking like they were special or something. And like some men would be like, you're the first person that I chose to date. And like then they deleted their app after. And it's like, I don't need to be targeted. I don't need to be pushed. And like I am the control of my life. And I kind of feel like that was self-willing. And I don't know anyone else who's dating. But if you feel like you're self-willing so much, I think you got to take a break from it. It's like let be and let God. And so now I know, I'm clear. You got a top 5. It's called the Michelangelo effect. You know your top 5. It changes over time. And I had a significant relationship last year. I just like reminisce about this summer. Like right now, I'm having the time of my life. Like I'm just like everywhere doing what I love to do. And the person who I chose to date was like actually like being like, well, thank God you haven't done comedy yet. And like kind of like that. And was really in the way of my digital marketing degree getting done. And that's actually kind of why I'm like, need to sit at home and get it done right now because I was so behind from that relationship. And so here's the vibe. And I think you're going to love this. So like Spencer Pratt, if you are not Spencer Pratt level supportive cheerleader, biggest fan, you are recording your woman, you are traveling with her, you are her body guide, her bank, her everything. That is the only way I can have a man. If you are in my way, if you are going against the flow of my water, okay? If you're going against the stream, you need to leave. And that's it. So I think a lot of women who do dating courses are like, I'm going all in, 2 feet in. And that's great if you go all into a relationship, but like only go into the right one. And that is all green flags. If there is any red flag, it's not a deal. Like on Shark Tank, no deal.
Such a good example of Spencer Pratt. And I say that all the time.
Yeah.
When I chatted with him and Heidi, I'm just like, this is the relationship that is the goals.
Yeah, strive for it. Like as a man, you can do it. I've seen it growing up and we're seeing some of those men now.
Yes.
And it's like one man can really respect and cherish and be a best friend and tell his wife or girlfriend everything. You have a lot of these toxic masculinity males who are like selling dating programs to basically lie to women. You have Kanye West who's online being like, oh, but everything's okay if you like lie to your BITCH or whatever he was saying, but it's not. That ruins good relationships. That is toxic. It's not in your like divine feminine, and there is a balance for men and women. So yeah,
Aww.
Women need to be respected on every level, and that equals like, a long-term relationship. My grandpa and my grandma, they got married, dated, whatever it was, 18, and he died, and like they're getting buried together when she passes away. Like that is beautiful to at least strive for goals like that. It's not easy.
Yes.
Relationships are never easy, but what kind of relationship do you want? I'm just saying, I don't want to be the kind of wife, because I've never accepted an engagement. I'm just really smart about my dating life. And I don't want to be the kind of woman who's like just partnering up with a man to be like okay with criminal activity. It's like, oh, are you just like having me around to like take off all the focus on like criminal activity, and you want me to be like okay with your crimes? And yeah. And honestly, like if you watched Hollywood Demon on HBO, like housewives are on there everywhere. Criminal activity. Like these wives were created to be with these men and be down for some criminal activity, and I will not be that woman, period.
I hear that. Yeah. No, same. Keep the criminal
Ironic.
activity away.
Yeah, ironic what kind of relationships you sign up for. You can have money, but you will be criminally charged at the end of it.
Yeah. Something fun seeing you on was that you were a judge on Roast Battle at Joe Rogan's Mothership.
Yeah, guess what? That whole big roast battle sport is blowing up now since I've been on, and I totally feature it. Like, I support it.
How did that happen? How did you get on that?
Comedy debut, New York City, Manhattan. Everyone obviously saw, like, my comedy debut was probably louder and larger than most comedians. Let's just be real. And so, yeah, the owner, Brian of it, he reached out, and I was like, oh, I just got into town. You happen to be here tonight. I could stop by. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, there's no payment or anything. It's not a big deal. I'm walking down my street, So I did stop in. It was very enlightening.
Okay. What'd you learn?
On so many levels.
Yeah.
Because you have so many different comedians. There's like different type of comedy styles. You have comedians who are just straight up in like movies and films. You have comedians who are like on the road grinding comedy. And then you have like pretty much like stationary. They have a location, and then sometimes they will tour like big arenas. And Brian, the owner of the comedy roast battle sport, he kind of like breaks down different elements of comedy. And I think I really needed a little bit of guidance, someone who just talks about it so fluently and knows it, because all of his friends, I think Tony like got on stage and said like he knew him for like 16 years. And that's awesome that other people have a rapport with people like that. I don't have that luxury unless like something, I don't know. But I love that they can just be like, this is my comedy, whatever. I will say this. I'm probably not going to be the comedian who, because I don't even have a podcast. I'm probably not going to be the comedian who is like podcast centric, always traveling. Again, the comedy roast sport thing, that's pretty intense for me. And what he puts into that, again, they deserve the world because they put so much of their life, like everything into it. But it was crazy. You want to really, really know why they invited me. And he said it on, I think he said it on the episode that I was on. He goes, I don't even know who this person is, but I will say my mom did. And my mom wanted me to have her on here. And I'm like, within 2 days, you already told your mom? Like, what? And that's why I just have to attribute, I really have to attribute, like, all the women in the back. I hope you hear this. Moms of every generation, young, older, whatever. I really, really appreciate you, like, paying it forward and inclusion of all women. And I guess, like, being that mentor to, like, young men because I need it. I could just tell, like, he doesn't know me, but he was not trusting. He had such a hard exterior from all these fucked up comedians around him. I'm just being honest. And he couldn't live. And it's like when you meet someone who is just genuine, he couldn't believe it. Like, it was unbelievable. So again, when he announced like he was going to be on a TV streaming platform, it's recognized nationally as a sport. I literally probably was the first one to be like, congratulations, you deserve this. And I saw it when I met him. I don't think people understand how much comedians who rough it, how much time, energy, it's their whole life. And it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, what was cool about your show is I know you don't need validation from Dr. Drew, but he did say that you were a substantial person and that you did a fantastic job. You guys have had an interesting relationship. How did that feel?
That was amazing. I'm happy someone is, at that frame of mind about me. Aww. And I really appreciate that. I personally said thank you, and thank you for his family coming out. I really appreciate it. Aww. So yeah, I love that. I would say, yeah, my life journey has been substantial.
Yes, it has.
I agree.
And you've done so many things other than being the amazing mom to Sophia. What are like your top 3 biggest accomplishments you could think?
So I do this often, actually.
Yes.
I like Tony Robbins. Like, what's your big move of the week? What are 3 things in the future you're gonna get? And I gotta say, it really happened. It was just a stand-up comedy debut. I didn't even have it recorded. And that ended up getting a sponsorship and all this stuff. So that was one of them. Did you ask me for the future right now? Sorry.
Right now, thinking back, what are the 3 biggest things you've been able to do?
Okay. So that was one. There was probably there's 2 other ones. Oh, I do think I wanted to do something like at the Comedy Mothership. That was 2. This show was popping off.
Also, all happened
it was
recently.
Real. There was something else with comedy that I did. So I had these little goals. Oh, I wanted to be a judge too. I had these little goals of location. I want to be a judge. I wanted to do a debut, and literally it happened within 3 days. And that was so cool. And so now I'm working on my next comedy goals. But to be honest with you, I'm a screenwriter now. I just literally adapted My Teenage Dream Ended as a script, as a feature film. And that's very hard to do. And I've been teaching myself, paying people to teach me. And again, you have to X out all these amazing memories, but it's a feature film, so you have to play by the rules. And that was, I think, probably going to be the hardest script of my whole entire life to write. And I'm happy it was with my book adaptation. Book to blockbuster, it's ready.
So would you want to play yourself in your film, or who would you want to play you?
Like Ginny and George on Netflix. I'd probably be the flashback girl. But I really want, because my daughter is 16, my age, I really want my daughter to play a big role in this. It is her time.
Would she want to do that?
I'm sure she would, but who else could be a better study of a character? She's lived with it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it would be amazing if we can get all the stars to align. I don't know what guy, and I'm excited on the possibilities of new celebrities or known celebrities that we know being a part of that, actors and actresses. So I'm just open to it, but I'm also doing true crime. I'm pitching this true crime thing about my life. I'm getting ready for my first documentary with Sophia in it. Wow. And I just I got so much I really love. And also I'm writing my first rom-com for comedy for myself to be a star in. But yeah, I just need to take it steps, because this is all new of me owning it and doing it with no help, which I tend to do, own 3 companies all on my own. And I really am so excited for this chapter. Sophia, by the way, really wants to write horror films. And I am so inspired by that, because I can't she takes me to all these horror movies every week. And I'm literally leaving the cinema because I can't stand predatory. I can't stand predator stuff anymore. Probably all the trauma. But Sophia's ready for it. She could have her own haunted house based off her film. She could probably have her merch line. So Sophia's really got her own niche. And for all the people out there, watch out for Sophia, because she's gonna be scary soon.
She gonna scare you so crazy.
She's gonna scare you right.
We actually have a promotion going on right now at Z100. By the end of the summer, we're gonna give someone a chance to win $1 million.
Woo!
I know.
Where's my millionaires at? Manifest.
That part. It's going on now the whole summer, our Z100 $1 million summer hit. What advice do you have for our listener if they win that $1 million?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's such a great era to be a millionaire, right? You have, I don't know, it's called AI Entourage. And you can literally invest your money in a safe way. So the AI Entourage will literally make sure by policies and everything, all the money that you put in, you will 30% it, 50% it, you will be like making money. So I do feel like you got to use the AI entourage system for investments. It is now safe. You're not wasting your money. You're not losing money.
Have you used it?
I am.
Oh.
And a lot of my friends are. And they are making millions, okay? And they're not touching it because the AI is so smart. So that's one way to triple up on your millions. And then again, I think real estate investments are smart right now. It is a buyer's market. You can buy down on your interest rates right now. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can rent, that you can do. So go business crazy on different investments. I would say stay away from commercial brick and mortar. You will lose your money on that. That's why I had to get out, even though I made millions. But like, not everyone can do that, right? They always say like companies fail because it's unfair. Taxes show up, people raise rent. Don't do that to your money. Yeah, the first two though, you're gonna make money real quick.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Okay, AI and real estate. That's a good one.
Safe.
Okay.
We won't get into the other stuff.
So you're so busy. Where do you find time to sit down and write these things and work on your goals and stay grounded and pray?
Yeah. So every day, like even this morning, like I got to wake up to a meditation. I do go to sleep. I use Insight Timer to kind of, and my Farrah life coach, she is raving about all these apps because, and journals and all this. But I'll just say it for you. So yeah, Insight Timer, and I do challenges for like 20 days. I go on their lives, totally check it out. I saw it when I was in my 28-day intensive healing trauma program, and I've been doing it ever since. So yeah, I just stay consistent in what I know is good. And most of the time people are like, so you're not doing more comedy things? I'm going to tell you one thing. Time is precious. And if I can just silence everything, again, I wrote a whole freaking script. Like it's going to be bought soon. It's not a joke. And I think like those silent moments that you take and cut out for yourself, rather than all this busy stuff that everyone thinks is going to get them fame or money or whatever. No, it makes you tired. So these little things and me silenced and me going off the radar for a second, that is me setting myself up for success. When I did a novelty toy license deal one summer in August, I silenced myself. I researched, and this was before AI. So I had to be creative and write like a reach out for brands, not use AI. And I got the deal. And that manufacturing company sold 2 times with my toys, sold out worldwide. Still to this day, people are asking and asking and asking, where are my toys and all this stuff. But the market changed because of everything. So a lot of the other people who are making novelty toys, I did them for women, 3 toys for women, and I did like 5 for men. And it just kept getting better and better and selling out. And I was traveling the world for all these like business shows. But now you see some of the women that are doing that and they're getting only 10%. They're not involved. And I think like I was so lucky that I was like, I want to do a license. I get a piece of it. I get to be part of it. And I've never seen a better deal since. So yeah, use that AI this summer.
Yes.
It's the summer of all summers.
Right?
Yeah.
Before the AI drops, what about for the sexy single ladies? Any advice for them this summer?
Again, don't go for what is available. So many people are available. Only go for, again, like, is this a cheerleader? Is this a fan? Is this a bodyguard? Is this a bank? And if it's not, don't waste your time. People who are available are not what you need. It needs to be a choice. You have to select it, not be like, oh, I happen to be here. He's available, like on an app that's self-willing a little bit. So make sure, ladies, make sure you got it all.
Yes. What about some summer bucket lists? Anywhere you want to go or things you want to do?
Okay. Well, I just went to like 5 islands, so I'm a little island out, but I had an insane time. Like everybody check out Icon of the Seas cruise, I believe is where I was. Yeah, I was like on a country club in the middle of the ocean that no one could see, and everyone stuck with me.
What was your favorite part about the cruise?
I really did enjoy like husbands and wives being like, oh my God, can I send photos to my family? I did enjoy that, but I will say, because of Sophia wanting her privacy and those things, we would almost like do opposite schedules so people wouldn't like
bombard,
be too much on her. But then you had like moms and dads being like, oh, I just saw her. She must be trying to avoid you. But it's not that. She needs her own space. Like she creates her own, I guess, catfish like usernames and stuff because she wants to go play. She wants to go be her age. And she ended up making so many friends. They have a teen center there. And, you know, some teens should not be loose on a cruise ship. Like, girl, I'm serious. I had underage boys coming up to me trying to be like, can I have your number? Are you like single? I'm like,
criminal. Are
you even an adult? And they're like, yeah, I'm an adult. I'm like, what's your age? And then they're like, oh, it's okay. You don't want my number. I was like, damn, are you trying to put me in jail or I should put you in jail? And thank God I'm like, wall up. This boy looks broke. He has no bank.
His shoes are dirty.
You're like
it's
on the most
style though. The dirty Air Forces. They like to wear these as a style.
Your mom and your dad upstairs just bought this for you. Anyways, we were on a luxury cruise. The people were awesome. Can't say enough. I'm happy my daughter found so many friends from it. When we got off on all the islands, like she could go be herself. And like, yeah, she does tend to gravitate towards people who like have foreign parents who can't speak English. Mm-hmm. And it's like her own escape from like always being known and people keeping tabs. And that is annoying. Mm-hmm. So like anonymity is number one as a teen right now. I didn't have it. And I just want to give it to her. So, yeah.
Well, we're thankful that you're spending some of your summer with us here in New York City.
Summer, millionaires, manifest, dating, be safe.
What are some of your favorite parts of New York?
Wow. So yesterday in the rain or not rain, it was sunny then rainy. I loved walking. There was like some district. I did like a 20-minute walk. And I normally don't do this, but I just need to walk in New York. I was by Times Square. I made my way. I'm going to just rave for a second. I found my way to a Victoria's Secret in New York. It was like 4 levels of Victoria's Secret, y'all. It was crazy. There was like a bridal section. There was like panties, like 8 for $25. There was like all these new bras, like leopard and like, but I am kind of like, why are there so many men working in Victoria's Secret now?
Get out, please.
And they're like wearing sweats. They used to be like black, chic, like professionals. Yeah. So I get a little confused now when I'm in Victoria's Secret. But 4 levels of Victoria's Secret. Amazing selection. Good buyers. Check that out.
Yes, I need to. I need to. And what about those people that have been your fans, that have always been showing you love in the comments from even your 16 and pregnant days? What do you have to say to them that are still rocking with you today?
Yeah, I'm just so grateful, blessed, supportive, and however I can support you and have your voices heard, I really am fighting for that. I'm like pitching even a digital series for the teen moms, but it's like not even the teen moms, it's for your voices. It's for the audience of Teen Mom because I get to see your children. I get to see you like through divorces. I get to give you pep talks. I get to hear your grandparents like come up to me. And like that is like a family that I never knew randomly that I get every day. Even when I don't speak to my family, even though I'm not a part of the show anymore, that is really the ultimate gift, is giving back to someone else, letting them know you watch them, and equally like me being reciprocative. That is a huge gift like that money cannot buy. So that's what I love, and thank you.
Of course. And to wrap things up, right now where you're at in your life sitting here, how does it feel to be Farrah Abraham?
It feels fucking good. There you go. And I hate to cuss, but it's that. F words. Yeah. It is that. I feel so good. Guys, I'm making my dreams happen. And it is amazing. And I thought I never could, you know? And I'm making my dreams happen for my daughter. And yeah, God bless every young parent and all parents, because it's a struggle no matter what age you're at. Let's be real. So I love all you parents. I love those who are out there doing it on their own, whether you're a widower or divorced. And I love the grandparents who are supporting and helping however they can. Thank you.
Wow, Farrah. you're so busy, you're doing so many things, but seeing you from MTV to where you are now,
Wow.
as a fan following along, I just want to say thank you for the time.
Thank you.
I'm so proud to see your growth. I know you still have that negativity or the comments or whatever, but that does not at all interfere with your shine here.
Yeah.
You've been so sweet to me and the team.
Love you.
And I just have to say thank you so much for being you and for being the amazing mom you are. People are looking up to you, including myself. So thank you, Farrah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.